Okay, g'day there. Richard Musgrave-Evans here again, and welcome back. Now today I'm going to paint a very big canvas on location down at the Murray River. Beautiful gum tree subject, can't wait to get into it. But before we do, I'll go for a paddle and show you around a bit so you can get an idea on what the river's like. No worries. Alright, Richard Musgrave-Evans here again, and welcome back. Now today I've got a great subject. Down the Murray River, got some classic old river red gums, Australian river red gums. It's a beautiful day down the river today. There's fish jumping out of the water, there's birds chirping. Just great stuff in general. Okay, now, as you can see, I've got a big canvas, oil paint and palette knives. I've blocked in a few of the darks just to get the feel out of that composition. She's a pretty complicated one, so I wanted to warm up a little bit. Now, we'll get ready. All right, let's go. Okay, I think I will do the next thing, put some of that background stuff in, all right? So, a little bit of magenta, viridian green, a little bit of white. Colour is that today, a bit more green in that. Let's just feel that. Okay, it needs to be lightened a bit. Stick a bit of blue in with it. Green and magenta. Just, the trees behind there are slightly further back, so the tone's been kicked back that little bit. It's just a little bit lighter, there's a bit more white, and it's a little bit cooler. Right. Fantastic day to be down the river. Fantastic day. Okay, a bit more of that blue and white, a bit less flies. Magenta and viridian green. Okay, needs a bit more magenta than that. A bit more green. Okay, now I'll go for some more magenta right where the water's meeting the edge. Just pick out a bit of a line along there. Alright, I'll just stand back and see if I've got my levels right. It's not too bad, okay. Go for a bit of yellow ochre and viridian green. Just get up here and put a bit more of the underpainting of the foliage in. Actually comes right down here, so I'll put a bit of that. Overlaps like so. Burnt sienna, viridian green, bit of yellow ochre. Makes it slightly darker tone. Don't want to go too dark, just enough. Yeah. Okay. It's a ripper of a day down here today, an absolute beauty. Alright, stand back and compose again. Just have a look, eh? Right, not too bad now. That water is reflecting beautifully. If you ever look there, you'll see before, when I woke up in the morning, there was a bit of a breeze. Now the water has calmed right down, so it's perfect. We'll get those reflections in pretty soon, just in case it decides to come back up with a bit of wind. Okay, so yellow ochre, burnt sienna, pretty and green, a little bit of white and knock it back, a bit more green, a bit more yellow ochre. Let's have a look, what do we got? A bit more white and yellow ochre, to lighten the tone. Just keep altering it as you go. A bit more burnt sienna over here as it recedes. Maybe a bit more blue just to take it off a little bit. Bit more blue in the mix. I've got to say, those birds are very noisy. Very noisy indeed. Bit more yellow ochre. Wow, this water is just beautiful. So I'm getting a bit of an underpainting in, which is the colour of the reflections. This is beautiful stuff, alright. Green, yellow ochre, it's all going well so far. It's because it's always fun painting these massive pictures. Okay, so as you can see, got all that in. Now, stick a bit of the foliage on the background too. I'll go yellow ochres and burnt siennas. A little bit of ultramarine blue to knock it back a bit. Even a bit of magenta, that'll knock it back because it's further away. It's not as close as this stuff. Down there's a little bit further away, so you key it down a little bit. Let's have a look. Just lightly putting it in. There's a bit of the old cliff face up in this corner too, which I'll take advantage of in a minute. A bit more blues, yellow ochres, magentas to knock it back. Yeah, there is a bit of a cliff. There's a bit of the cliff showing all around there, even on the backdrop. All the way through there, there's a bit of the Murray Cliffs behind the trees. Right. Bit of yellow ochre in the foreground water. Yellow ochre and burnt sienna. And white. There's water just down in there. It's got more white in it than that. A little bit more green. Yep, a little bit more green and white. knock her in there. Ultramarine blue and white. There's always a lot to do here, always a lot. I'm just going to put some of the shadows from that tree. A few shadows here. Let's have a look. That's all going well, but the sky now is one of the biggest differences, so I'll get that in. Some white, burnt sienna. I'll try a bit of phthalo blue, which is a really strong blue. You hardly need any other stuff. A bit of that burnt sienna to make the lower part of the sky. Okay, let's have a look what we got. Yeah, I'll also mix up a bit of a yellow ochre, burnt sienna, separate over here, real light kind of earthy tone, much lighter than that, more yellow ochre. Now I'll put that into my mix. There's a little bit more of those the atmosphere's lit up a bit with those warmer tones rather than just a cool colour. Just get that in. All happening, all happening. Right. What I'll do now is I'll go for an ultramarine blue and white, which is a much more of a red tone blue rather than the green blue before. The thing with these big paintings is so much mixing to do. So much mixing. So that's a better colour, but I can get that mixed into that undertone of stuff I just did. It's more of the colour I'm after, but I still wanted that other colour under it. Just pop that in, pull it into it like so. Now there's going to be a lot of patchwork through here because we're kind of painting in between all the foliage, all the negative space. Let's get some more ultramarine. We'll go a bit darker as we're going up. Just those birds love to put up a racket, don't they? Just filling in all the gaps. This is good fun and a lot of work. Can't say it's not a lot of work, that's for sure. Okay, now I'm going to go up a layer to go even darker, get right up into those big blue heavens up there. So I'll put a bit of magenta with it, with the ultramarine blue. Just reddens the ultramarine blue even a little bit more. It seems to do that as it goes up into the horizon, up into the atmosphere, not the horizon. The horizon seems to have a lot more dust particles and air particles, and the top is much cleaner colour. Deep blue clean. Just trying to work it out. There'll be a lot of changing of stuff as we go, I'm sure, but at the moment we're just trying to get a general feel of what's going on. this all palette knife technique is, I really enjoy it. Something different. I enjoy it. Just pulled some of that through like so, mixing some of those colours together a bit better, all the different sky tones as they go up. Okay, let's have a look, I'll stand back. Okay. Right, now immediately I can see I'm going to have to make a light blue for the next biggest difference. Just going to stick her in. This is the sky colour reflecting in that undertone. Pull the two together a bit. Pull the two together. Blending them as we go. Let's have a look at that. Okay, that'll do for a minute. I'll just get this foreground in so I can judge what I'm doing. Mix up a viridian green and white over here. Just get a high key colour. Now mix that with a bit of yellow ochre. See how we go with that. Just get some of that green in. This is the foreground grasses. What do we got here? Down here, oops. Random marks. Now there's some beautiful earthy tones. We're standing here, we've got a mixture of grass and bare earth. That bare earth is a nice colour, a bit of magenta, a bit of those sky blues thrown in with some burnt sienna. Make it kind of neutrally toned. Let's have a look, eh? Let's have a look, what do we got? Just need to mix it with it. A bit more burnt sienna with it. Make it up as you go. Beautiful earthy tones. Just mixing up some of the shadows through here. Okay, let's have a look. Right. Bit of magenta and blue, white. There's a bit of a shadow coming through here. It's a little bit cooler. Fill all that in. Fill all that in. Always so much work to be done. Good. Take a bit of paint off there. Take a bit of paint off there to reveal some of those undertoned shadow blues that were already there. It's a good way to get your shadows. You put the shadows in first. Hang on, I'll do a bin run. Put the shadows in first and then bring it back to them if you put too much light over it. Scrape it back. Beautiful. Right. Some shadow tones in there. Now, where was I? Just mix up a nice colour. Just trying to get these watercolours correct. I was lightening the tone ever so slightly. Stuck into that tree in a minute. Just I'll try and get some of these a little bit more accurate. Right, where are we? Bit of cad yellow and yellow ochre, maybe a bit of burnt sienna. I just want to build up some of those Murray Cliff colours in the backdrop. Just a few back here and along the ridge. Let's have a look. Yep, a bit more white. Alter it as you go. Lightly touching, pulling them in. Some beautiful cliffs just there. You wouldn't want to leave those little puppies out there. Quite nice to look at. Very nice. Hear those birds. A little bit of magenta to take it back further over there. It's just a little bit further away over here, so. Now let's have a look what we got. Okay. Just getting some of those trees on the ridge painted in a bit better. Excuse me. Running that sky. sticking in a few dark tones on the edge of the river here. Okay, just clear some of these out of the way over here. Can use some of that later on, maybe not. See how it goes. Alright, burnt sienna, ultramarine blue. Just going to work a few of those darker tones into that gum tree now. Those beautiful trees, they are about as good as it gets, I would say. Darker tones, ultramarine blue and magentas, really darkening some of those areas up. A few little lines coming down to the river. Yep. There's always so much, excuse me, always so much to do with a massive painting. Alright, here we go. A bit more of that trunk. Where was I? A bit of white. A little bit of white and yellow ochre to lighten it up now. Hang on. Not too much white, a bit more yellow ochre rather than white. Maybe. Just going for draftsmanship, you got to get that, well, you know, pretty good. Yeah, I'll bend that one up like so. And this one can go, which way can that one go? That way. Alright. Putting a bit of a trunk here. Yellow ochre burnt sienna. Yellow ochre and burnt sienna. A little bit of cade yellow to even lighten it a bit more where the sky. Isn't that fantastic? Kookaburra. Right? Good old kookaburras. It's a classic Australian sound, isn't it, that kookaburra? There's a lot of branches. The trick is put some in, don't put them all in. If you put them all in, it could be too much. But still, you want a general feel what's going on, don't you? Let's have a look at that. Got more white, making a pale grey here. A few magentas, yellow ochres. Where the light's hitting those beautiful trunks. So that's a mixture of this type of grey, but there's also a magenta and a cad yellow, and those two are making a grey but with liveliness. There was some sap. The tree is oozing sap. It's kind of running down the tree. Look at that. A bit more white, yellow. Just sticking one of those branches that is bending around into itself. Clean that up a bit, get some white, cad yellow and white. Lighten the tone a bit, here we go. Putting that trunk in. There's a lot of squiggly lines. Just get a bit of a mixture of that stuff. Blend it into the soil colour here. Lighten that tone down there. There's a beautiful little beach down there. Stick that in. Build this edge up a bit more again. A little bit higher there. painting some of the beautiful grasses and flicks and flops and whatever's going. Great stuff. Get the burnt siennas and whites just a little bit out there. Alright, so it's getting there. It's getting there. Yep, it's all in. Okay, right. Just stick some of these reeds in on the other side. Constantly moving stuff around and adapting and getting used to what's there, working in the order of visual importance. Constantly working things up. Stand back and have a look. Okay, now I've got a lot of the shadow tones of the grass, but I haven't got a lot of the, I've got a lot of the shadow tones of the foliage in the tree, but I haven't got a lot of the light tones there, so I'll stick some of them in. Alright, here we go. Yellow ochre, a little bit of white maybe. Let's have a look what it is, have a look. Got a tiny bit of green in it. Just lightly pulling, leaving highlights and drag marks and whatever. Yellow ochre, white viridian green. Shadow that side. Got to get some more yellow ochre. I've actually run out of a bit of here, so let's have a look. Got one of these ones, hang on, in the cartridge. You can squirt it out. Pretty good stuff. Now look at that. Will you look at that now? little bit of cad red. What a beautiful day. Powerboat's going past. A little bit yellow. Just made a nice orange there if I need it. Just noticed some of this foliage has kind of got the gumnut seeds, it just got kind of little red highlights in them, so a little bit of that will definitely not go astray. Just gives it that little bit more power. Gentle little waves coming in from the powerboat. Worth looking at. There could be some interesting colours and tones going on there as that goes through. Adding some more of the shadow tones. Bit of blending, get that blended better. Constantly working around the picture, constantly. Never finishes anything completely until something else is on the go. That way, working with the order and visual importance. Just some downward reflection pulls. Got some yellow and burnt sienna there. A little bit of white, yellow ochre. A bit more white to lighten it. Get that tone right. Some of those little waves lapping in. Just lighten this tone a bit. Taking some of the different varieties of colours that are going on in the river, the warm and cool contrasts. Clean it up a bit. Take some paint off here and there. Taking paint off, adding paint to get that feeling of the warm and cool contrast. All very interesting stuff. Just pulling a bit of paint off here and there. Revealing those beautiful shadows. Alright, now we're just always working around the canvas, never finishing anything too much before you start on something else. Working in the order of visual importance. Just putting some of these leaves in. Here and there, lovely stuff. Okay, now just to take this background back a bit, just going to pull through here and there. To release that straight edge, so we don't have too much of a straight edge that attracts too much attention. Still want it to be there, but you don't want it to overdo it. Okay, very good. Now, bit of white. More white. Just picking out some of these trunks. The light's always changing. You always get more light sometimes, less light others. Go with what feels right for you at the time. Okay, now they're all out having a good time on the river. There's waves coming in. Burnt sienna, yellow ochre, what do we got here? Smearing some of those middle tones, hang on, lighten up. Going for a lighter tone now. Not that light, hang on. Yellow, white. Bit of an aeroplane coming through by the sound of it. What I wanted, just a bit of reflected light under there. Under there. Right, might go to a slightly smaller knife, a bit more flex in it. Good for the finer details. Just want to draw some of those beautiful squiggly little branches that are doing different things. So I've got the knife on edge. Try and mimic, clumsy type of mimicking. Mimic the flow and rhythm of those beautiful branches. Okay. Right, put this one down. Getting there. Getting there, right. Bit more blue. Just when those power boats came through, they made some beautiful blue highlights on the water there, which I was enjoying, so going to add a bit of that in. Look at that. Just adding bits and pieces. Always going for the big impression. We're getting there now, we're getting there. Bit by bit. Just adding refining details to really get it to pop. Okay, stand back and have a look at that. Yep, pretty good, pretty good. All right, well there you go. That's about it. Now, got a lot done in a little bit of time, which is fantastic. That's exactly what I love to do. Captured that beautiful image, the Australian bush, on a big bit of canvas. Okay, now, if you enjoyed that, and you haven't already, remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up and forward it on to your friends and all the fantastic stuff like that. All right, I'll get the camera off and we'll have a close look around. But until next time, I'll see you down the road. Cheers.